Well, not to, of course, distract the line of thought, but then in that case, or in that sense, then, we say there are numerous issues that would have been addressed a long time ago. But then the beauty of democracy, the beauty of the law is the fact that, it has some dynamism in it, so that, you can realize that there's a problem here, then you try and fix it. And that's the reason why we're having this conversation of amending, of course, the Constitution, of changing, making some changes on the Constitution. So while we might not have done that long time ago, we say, of course, it's long overdue, and now we're having these conversations, which should be healthy for that matter. That's the reason why there's that clarion call upon every other Kenyan to get involved, because we understand our very own issues. We're growing from that time where, of course, the white man would come and dictate how we're going to live. But we're getting to that point whereby we all understand what, of course, issues we have as a people of Africa and what solutions we have for the problems of Africa. So looping in Dr. Nahashon Moitaleel, when you look at what, of course, is being presented by the BBI in terms of proposals, and the question of the timelines, and the question of whether it should hit, the parliament or it should go to the people, do you suppose then that this is a healthy conversation to have? And looking at the timelines, are there likelihoods that it would get to parliament and we get justice out of it, we address our very own issues, or indeed, when it remains with the very same people, of course, the people, of course, we're going to equally get what is expected to address the issues that we have at hand?
I blame the proponents of this BBI because it didn't expressly demand that it should go to the referendum or to the parliament.
Yes.
It was just an open check.
Right.
So now that is now giving us another, we are now working for the secretariat, which is not bad because it is allowing us to have our views. But there was a gap. They should have told us now, this is how we have to go, or this is expressly what we are demanding for us to go to the referendum. But it didn't. But what I like about it is that it talks of fixing the leadership. The moment you fix the leadership, everything falls in place. Because it's like when you have a problem with your car, maybe the wipers are not working, the lights are not working, you don't fix the wiper. You don't fix the lighting directly. You do a diagnosis and find out what exactly is the problem. You might find the real problem is a battery. So now, if we fix the battery for this country, everything will fall in place. But what is ailing the country is is more of when we talk of an example is the EACC, fighting corruption, which actually was the backbone of this, because when we started this BBI, that clause of fighting corruption was very heavy. Actually, we had a weekend, which was a Kamata Friday, which was born out of these talks out of the BBI. But again, if we fix the leadership, which in turn will take care of this EACC, it will, because now, as we speak now, EACC is at the mercy of the executive. For you to arrest somebody, you have to call straight out the red line, because you don't just go and arrest somebody. You have to follow those processes. And then again, they don't have that prosecutory powers. And then you find that those are real issues which should have been tackled by this. But to answer your question, where do we go now? Do we go to the people? Do we go to the people in terms of referendum, or do we go to the parliament? That is now a big debate, because if we go through the parliament, we might be dividing people more, because there are some people who are reading fishiness, or there's something not right when you go through the parliament, because it is an express way for somebody to have his way. And then again, if we go to the people, we might now go again into the campaign mode, which is more of dividing people, because I'll come and tell people now, we go this way. Another person says, we go that way. So there are some other avenues that we need to express, which should come from the top. The leader should tell us, especially the three people we know now who are they have some muscles in terms of followership, like the president, the prime minister, the deputy president, and also those people who are in the NASA. If those people give us direction, which we might think is the right way, which will bring us together, the better.
Why do you think the BBI never scratched the surface here with regards to either recommending a referendum or parliamentary way anyway? Is it because they're avoiding more divisions and the expenditure more than 20 billion needed for a referendum? And if, say, they might have engineered this into a bill, then it comes to the floor of the House, then further divisions will be expected. So why did they stay off either the two options?
I think there was a lot of talks. There was a lot of insight by the National Integrity, the NIS, because I remember there was a time they wanted to release it. But when the president is briefed, this is what is there, he sneaks out of the country and comes back later, and then he will now tell, this is now the time to unveil the report. And then again, he didn't want to own it. So he wanted to have an open check that that doesn't hurt him, as well as doesn't hurt the Right Honorable, the Deputy, the Prime Minister, and also some other cronies within the the circles.
So it was a case of them preservation of the interests of the few, or the top echelons, isn't it? Or the few cliques? Because there seems to be a capital oligarchy in Kenya. The few 8,000 own as much as half of the country. And in the event it doesn't address that, then what is the point of the coming together of the president and the opposition chief, Raila Odinga?
It's very delicate because somebody, you are trying to take care of your interest, and then again, what I know also, there was also pressure from outside because the whole world was looking at it. They even knew that there are some hardliners within the committee of experts. That's why all of a sudden you are trying to do something, and all of a sudden there's a ban on travel on somebody.
Okay. All right, Betty, this also, Doc,